We have turned the Constitution on its head, and the federal government has inserted itself into every aspect of American society. And instead of allowing states to become laboratories of reform, Washington's central planners are co-opting the responsibilities reserved to the states and individuals under the 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution. See, a federal policy of fiscal coercion is now at the heart of the debates of Medicaid expansion proposed under Obamacare. And unfortunately, some of our friends and allies in the conservative movement have folded in the face of federal bribery and mounting pressure from special interest groups. They tell us to take the money. In the case of Texas, $4 billion, because it's free. But there is nothing free. There's nothing free that comes from Washington. Because for starters, it's our money. This is our money, or at least money that we've tacked on to the national debt either by borrowing from China or by pulling it right off the printing presses. Secondly, nothing stops Washington from changing the rules down the road and increasing the state share, which in the case of Texas will be up to more than $18 billion over 10 years. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money even for the 14th largest economy in the world. All we have is a promise. All we have is a promise from a federal government that apparently can't afford to keep dangerous criminals behind bars. It's as if the merits of the expenditure don't matter anymore. But I say they do. I say Medicaid doesn't need to be expanded. It needs to be saved and reformed. We care about our poorest Texans. We want them to have the best care possible. And that cannot happen with a program that is on its way to bankruptcy. If you don't believe me that Medicaid is broken, just ask our president. 4 years ago, he said, and I quote, "We can't simply put more people into a broken system that doesn't work," end quote. And yet that's exactly what he's doing or trying to do in the case of Texas. No program has grown more rapidly in the last 15 years at the state level than Medicaid. Washington's solution is to grow it even faster, regardless of the fact that Medicaid program is unsustainable. Here is what we need. Instead of this one-size-fits-all Medicaid expansion under Obamacare, flexibility to innovate, to enact patient-centered, market-driven reforms, state accountability requirements, combined with limits on federal overreach. We need a Medicaid program that emphasizes personal responsibility with copays on a sliding scale, deductibles and premium payments for emergency room care, small contributions so patients take ownership over their utilization of care. We need to asset test to ensure care is there for those who really need it most. We need the ability to offer Medicaid clients health savings accounts, giving patients more control over health care spending. Nothing about the Medicaid expansion should move citizens from existing private coverage and employer-sponsored coverage to the public rolls. Nothing should do that. If anything, Medicaid dollars should be used to keep people on private insurance. And the best way to help states provide health care is to allow states to design better, more efficient, more effective care using Medicaid dollars. This will allow each state to tailor the program to specifically serve the needs of those unique challenges that those states have. We know more about and care more about the physical health and economic health of our citizens than the federal government does. Give states like Texas the flexibility to actually fix Medicaid and to create more cost-efficient health care for our families, our neighbors, for our health care providers. You know, absent those changes and needed flexibility, the Medicaid expansion amounts to one large, incremental step towards single-payer socialized medicine. That's where we're headed.